Hi, welcome to this brief video clip where the interlinkages that banking industry has with some of the macroeconomic parameters such as interest rates, inflation, liquidity, stock market, money market, etc. is explained. This understanding helps you to develop an overall perspective of the important role that the banking industry plays in our economy and its relation to the rest of the economy. Let us start. Banking industry is a backbone for any economy and more so for emerging or developing economies such as India. You will agree with me if I say availability of banking facility to a large population of rural India will help India bring in more inclusive growth and at a faster pace together with technology helping us in this. So, what is the basic function of a bank? Banks mobilize savings from the public and use that money to provide credit to corporates and individuals and others who need money. Understand that bank credit is critical to the growth of the economy. Also, the growth of deposits and advances of a bank is an important indicator of their own performance. Having said that, let me also state that the overall credit growth in the banking system is an important indicator of the appetite that the economy has for money, be it for starting projects or for additional working capital or for buying goods or houses by individuals. Hence, we can safely assume that when the credit growth in the banking industry is good, it's an indication that the economy is also doing well. In fact, credit growth is a leading indicator as to whether the GDP growth of the country will be healthy or not. In India, a credit growth of 15 to 20% per annum is good, while anything around 10% or less may be lower. It would be useful for you to look at RBI data published in this regard periodically through their weekly statistical supplement, popularly referred to as WSS. WSS contains data on scheduled commercial banks' business in India, important policy rates, money stock data, liquidity operations by RBI, etc. Several other important data is also provided under their publications menu at their website rbi.org.in. Monthly RBI bulletin and their annual report contain very useful information to understand the performance of various macroeconomic parameters too. Now, let us consider the importance of interest rates to the banking industry. Banking industry is very sensitive to interest rates in the sense that any increase or decrease in interest rates would affect the profitability of a bank positively or negatively. Also, we need to remember that interest rate is an important tool for Reserve Bank of India to control inflation. One of the important mandates given to RBI is to keep inflation under control. Hence, in order to control inflation, RBI uses tools such as repo rates, cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio and liquidity adjustment facilities. Bank rate, which was earlier a signaling rate for interest rate, has lost its importance presently. Now, let us understand how RBI through one of the important tools control inflation, which is the repo rate. RBI signals the direction of the interest rates through repo rates by increasing the same or decreasing generally during their bi-monthly monetary policy review announcements. So, what is a repo? A repo, a short form for the word repossess, is a mechanism through which banks can borrow money by pledging an approved bond or security as collateral. When the money is returned with interest, the lender bank returns the collateral to the borrower bank. The banks are eligible to undertake repo transactions with RBI at the rates fixed by RBI from time to time. RBI increases the repo rate if it wants to bring down the inflation and decreases the repo rate if it is convinced that the inflation is under control and there is room to reduce the interest rates. Hence, the repo rate acts as a monetary tool in the hands of RBI. It is another matter whether a reduction or increase in the repo rates by RBI will result in banks reducing or increasing their deposit or advances rate, even though RBI would like banks to move their rates in tandem with the movement in repo rates. This is called transmission effect or transmission mechanism. But banks believe that reduction or increase in the interest rates on deposits or advances are a function of the demand and supply for money, and it may not necessarily be in synchronization with RBI's measure to increase or decrease repo rates. So, the transmission effectiveness is a matter of debate and discussion in the industry circle. Banks reducing or increasing the interest rates on advances not only impact its own spread between the cost of funds and return on funds or the net interest margin, but also directly impact the profit and loss account of corporates that have borrowed money from banks for funding their projects or for working capital. Hence, a reduction or increase in repo rates would have impact on the profits of corporates and hence indirectly the performance of capital markets too. You do agree with me that larger earnings reported by corporates would move the equity markets up, or fall in earnings would move the market down. Hence, from this you can understand the linkages that repo rates have to the equity markets too. Having understood what is a repo and a repo rate, let us now try to get a deeper understanding of the economic parameter interest rate. The word interest rate is a generic term. Interest rate can denote bank deposit rates, bank advances rates, post office deposit rates, interest rates offered for PPF or EPF by the Government of India, or for the rates provided by NBFCs like microfinance corporations or development financial institutions such as SIDBI or NABARD. This would include even the rates at which corporates borrow money in the corporate bond market through debentures, etc., and the rates at which the Government of India borrows money from the market. In fact, the biggest borrower in the market is Government of India, and the financial institutions such as banks, insurance companies, mutual funds and portfolio investors such as FIIs are the subscribers to the government bonds, popularly known as gilts. You must know that government borrows money from the market to fund its fiscal deficit. The government securities make up a big part of the debt market. But money market too is a big segment of the interest rate market. Money market deals in short-term products of up to 1 year. Call money, collateralized borrowing and lending obligations, abbreviated as CBLO, market repos, commercial papers, certificate of deposits, treasury bills make up this market. I will talk about the role of call money market in a short while from now. The money market is more sensitive to repo rates signaled by RBI, as the RBI repo is a short-term instrument in general. A persistent low rates or high rates in the short-term money market will impact the medium and long end of the interest rate structure. Term structure of interest rates is a phrase used to denote the interest rates prevailing for various periods of time from 1 day to 30 years or so. Hence, from this discussion, you understand that the term interest rate is a generic term, and to lead this pack is the repo rate fixed by RBI from time to time. In fact, to talk about inflation and repo rates further, they are directly correlated. An upward movement in inflation will lead to increase in the repo rates, and a downward movement will lead to decrease in the repo rates. Inflation is directly impacted by oil prices, food prices and other commodity prices such as steel, cement, etc. I can mention here that the supply side factors in India are constrained by the infrastructure facility and oil prices, leading to sticky inflation. As I mentioned earlier, RBI reviews its monetary policy once in 2 months, and it is in this monetary policy that RBI increases, decreases or holds the repo rates, which is also sometimes referred to as key policy rates. Cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio are the other important policy rates of RBI. In the context of our discussion about the banking industry, it is also important to understand the term liquidity. Higher the liquidity, lower will be the interest rates, and lower the liquidity, higher will be the interest rates. liquidity is easy, liquidity is tight are the terms generally used while discussing about the state of liquidity in the banking system. So, what affects liquidity in the banking system? Any money that flows from RBI to the banking system increases the liquidity in the banking system, and any money that flows to RBI from the banking system decreases the liquidity in the banking system. Hence, you understand from this that RBI is outside the banking system and has the position to increase or decrease the money supply, and hence the liquidity in the system, and hence the interest rates also. What are the transactions that would cause a flow of money to and from the banking system to RBI? Let us see. First, the open market operations, also abbreviated as OMO, which is an outright purchase or sale of government securities by RBI from or to the market participants, mainly such as banks and insurance companies, causes the flow of money between them. Second, the sale or purchase of foreign exchange by RBI from banks as a part of intervention in the foreign exchange market results in money supply getting affected in the system and consequently the liquidity. Third, the repo transactions conducted by RBI and providing marginal standing facility as a part of liquidity adjustment facility to banks also affects the liquidity in the banking system. So, the liquidity in the banking system keep increasing or decreasing due to one or more of the above type of transactions that happens between RBI and some of the big market players. Daily data is made available by RBI with respect to these type of transactions at its website. The immediate impact of the liquidity in the banking system is reflected in the call money market. Call money market is an overnight market that enables banks to manage their daily mismatches. Call money market is a pure interbank market where banks can borrow or lend money from each other for an overnight period, that is, even for one day, in order to manage their daily mismatches that arise due to a large number of their branches accepting deposits and lending money for various periods. These mismatches in the bank's cash flows are monitored by the bank treasuries and reported to the asset liability committees of the banks, which are also known as ALCO. The ALCO meet periodically, and some of the important responsibility of an ALCO would be to set limits for mismatches for various time periods and also set interest rates on their deposits and advances for various periods. A persistent high call money rate, which is an indication of tight liquidity conditions, and a persistent low call money rate, which is an indication of easy liquidity conditions in the banking system, will impact the interest rates of other money market products such as treasury bills, commercial papers, certificate of deposits, and other short-term floating rate instruments. It is also to be understood here that the call money rates will in general hover around the repo rates, which would serve as an anchor. To summarize in this video, first I highlighted the importance of bank credit and its growth to the economy. Second, I explained the importance of interest rate as a tool for RBI to control inflation. Third, more specifically, I spoke about repo transactions and repo rates fixed by RBI from time to time as a tool to control inflation, and also its linkages with banks' deposits and advances rates and corporate profits. Fourth, I explained the generally misunderstood word interest rate and how it includes the government securities market and money market in its fold. Fifth, I explained the term liquidity and how the liquidity increases or decreases in the system with the types of transactions that affect them and also its impact on interest rates. Finally, I explained call money market and its linkages with money market and interest rates. I hope the presentation was useful, and see you again.